Hey there. Welcome to the Experienship podcast. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Danlee.
And we have a fun story today. We decided to take a trip today, Monday, February 19th, 2024.
And Brittany may or may not have a sinus infection. We're not sure.
I sound wonderful and beautiful. All right, so we decided to take this trip. Danlee has not been, today we did like fresh out the car. Just kidding. We decided to go take this trip to a Holocaust museum, and we definitely have a backstory on that, but we have been kind of obsessing, especially Danlee, over
like World War II era, the Holocaust, the atomic bomb, like so many different areas.
Lots of history.
And then Brittany was like, oh, guess what? There is a Holocaust Memorial Museum in San Antonio, and we're in Austin. So that's kind of perfect as far as, not planning a long, crazy trip and just going, because we decided this yesterday.
Yeah, we could just hop in the car.
And we're there.
Yeah, she was like, I want to go Monday. And I was like, Monday for like a future trip, or like, you mean tomorrow Monday?
So tomorrow Monday.
Tomorrow Monday isn't today.
But I had a doctor's appointment today.
Oh my God.
That is where like we had to really figure out the plans. So I'm like, Brittany, I need your help. Like
it's a personal doctor's appointment.
It's a personal doctor's appointment, and my kid's with me. So I'm gonna pick you up in the morning and I need you to entertain my kid while I go in there. And then we're gonna drive to San Antonio. And Brittany's like, naturally, okay.
Yeah, because I don't have to drive.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, come pick me up.
So this all worked out smoothly. I go pick Brittany up. We get to the doctor's appointment, plenty of time, go to check in, and the receptionist is like, what's your last name? What's your date of birth? Blah, 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 interrogating me. And I'm like, is it not today? And she's like...
She was asking you quite a bit of questions and is sassy. She was
kind of panicking like, oh, I don't see this appointment and you're here. And you know what? There was no appointment.
No, not today.
Not today. So turns out that was a waste of time, and we're all in this doctor's office ready for this plan. And yeah, whoops, I was a week off.
Oh my God. Well, the best part was there was a lady in the lobby, like in the back, that was like, girl, I've done that before.
Oh my gosh.
So the whole office knew that we all, just you, me, and your child came in a week early.
And I had a backpack full of activities. Yeah, but you still got some business taken care of there too, because we actually share a doctor's office.
Yeah, we go to the same doctor.
So Brittany made her appointment that she needed to make and got that straightened out. And then we went on with our day. And with our newfound hour of time, we went and picked up some tacos.
We did. Oh my gosh, my favorite taco place.
So then we pack up our leftover half a taco.
Oh, girl, I hate my whole taco.
Well, my daughter did not.
Oh, her half taco.
Yeah, which may or may not still be in my car somewhere.
Ew.
I need to go figure that out.
We gotta go get that.
Okay, so anyway, we're wrapping up. We're heading off to San Antonio from Austin, and that's not too bad of a drive, but
yeah, getting there wasn't bad.
We made pretty good time. So we're going to this museum. Brittany found it. It's called the Holocaust Memorial Museum of San Antonio. And we're pretty excited, but we're interested in this because, so for me, I mean, I've just kind of had a little like snowball in the past few months, which started with when I saw...
I don't even know if it's a snowball, girl. You rabbit hole.
Yeah. Well, for me, I watched Oppenheimer one night, and I just like was so into this movie. And then I watched it again because I was like, this is just great. There's so much detail. And so I'm really, interested in all of this. And then I see my dad and my stepmom like a few weeks later, and they bring me a stack of papers, and it's these cool letters from like the 1940s, World War II era. end of World War II, and it's my grandparents writing like love letters to each other.
They're so sweet.
From when my peepaw was drafted. So anyway,
what year was that?
Most of the letters that I've read so far are 1945 and 46.
That's awesome.
So he's like at the end there of World War II. But anyway, so that just like spiraled my curiosity into this whole subject. So that just kind of fell into my lap, and it's a whole nother story. But anyway, so then I found this cool book, American Prometheus, which is this really great like 25 years of work biography on Robert Oppenheimer. And so I'm just like really into this era, the atomic bomb, the US involvement in World War II.
Yeah.
But I've always really been just intrigued by the Holocaust in general because, you know, it's obviously just this incredibly horrific time in art history. It's unbelievable. It's something that is still kind of relevant in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of stirred up a lot of thoughts lately. So we've been talking about this, and then you found this museum.
Yeah.
So naturally, we have to go right away.
I was trying to search because I've been to the Holocaust Memorial Museum in DC. When I was in middle school, we went on this elaborate school field trip, and it was just the coolest thing. I mean, it was very sad, but it was very cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've got to look it up and to send you the website. And then this one in San Antonio popped up.
Yeah.
I was like, well, wait a second. This is so close. Like, so I sent it to you. And then
I was like, we're going.
Here we are. We're going.
The next day.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. So you started watching Oppenheimer too. That was like
what? I watched it last night, yeah.
Okay, so what'd you think of the movie?
I liked it. I think it was definitely long, and the ending kind of was just abrupt based off of the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
At least for my personal, it's about a freaking atomic bomb and the impact it had on so many hundreds of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, goodbye, and it's done. Otherwise, I really did like it. I thought I was going to have a really hard time keeping up because movies like that are pretty dense, sometimes I have a lot of hard time keeping up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
you were totally telling me like, stop texting me.
Yeah, I'm watching Oppenheimer, and you're like, do 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 do, like 5 text messages in a row, and I'm like, okay, lady. So I had to pause it
and tell me
and text you.
I'll text you after the movie
because this is a lot of information. Yeah, so I was watching Oppenheimer while we were planning today.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of interesting having both, but I did really like it. It's just, oh my gosh, there's so many feels. Can't be any spoiler alerts, but
yeah, it's a lot. I want to watch it again when I'm done reading the book.
Your 7,000 page book?
700 page book.
I added a 0. I'm terribly sorry.
So,
Holocaust Memorial Museum.
And you know, them like burning the money from the like economic like depression in Germany at the time, like the state of the way things were there as it moved towards this time.
Yeah, they had a picture of a woman burning the German currency
that was worthless at the time.
Just
yeah, information too.
Yeah,
so let's just say if you're bringing 4 almost 5-year-old child,
don't.
They're not going to enjoy this very much. I mean, she didn't hate it, but she was definitely bored. So that's a little bit of a tough thing, because if you're really wanting to just sit there and indulge in all this, you know, rich history, then it's like, well, yeah, don't bring your kid. But also, I think it was her first time exposed to any of this, and she's young, and, you know, I don't even know if she'll remember it, but hopefully it'll have some kind of impression on her. So anyway, but she did chill for a little bit of it. Basically, when you walk in, there's like this circular room, and they have it kind of laid out chronologically, and you start on one side. Okay, Ollie has never gotten in the Papasan chair.
Okay.
Good job, Ollie.
That was a struggle.
He didn't fall, though.
I mean, that back leg was shaking.
That chair could have tipped.
I was waiting for it to tip.
You go, Ollie.
It's like he knew it was going to tip because he's seen everybody else fall into it and out of it.
He knew the strategy.
All right, smart boy.
He's tired of not having a dog bed, so he's like, I'm gonna get up here.
He's pacing because we've taken over the sofa and he wants to be up here.
Yeah, he was clacking.
Clacking.
Okay, so you go chronologically around the room. So it starts out with some like news stuff, like anti-Semitism and just kind of things that are happening in Germany, like the
how it was kind of like before it got really bad, when it got really bad, when it got worse, and then when it ended.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it was in my head.
Mm-hmm. Which is all pretty interesting. But for me, I mean, it's all interesting watching like Rise of Hitler and things like that. But then
you had some pictures that you took a lot of pictures.
I did. And actually the one I'm looking at right now is pretty cool. So the whole Oppenheimer thing, like, I'm just really like, I did research for a while and like have a little bit of a science background and like, I don't know, I'm just super intrigued by these scientists. But they had a picture of Einstein from a Time magazine cover hanging up.
That was cool.
And this is the part I was just like kind of tripping out about looking at this picture. He's dubbed the person of the century in this picture, not the person of the year. I didn't even know Time magazine did that. They made him the person of the century. Am I the first one to like realize that's a thing?
I didn't realize that was a thing either.
It's just a picture of him, black and white, and then it says person of the century Time, Albert Einstein. And I'm like, that's so dope. Like, I don't know. He's just so influential this whole period and like physics and everything. It's just so great. And there's this quote, the world is too dangerous to live in, not because of the people who do evil, but because of the people who sit and let it happen.
Wow.
And
that's deep.
Like moves me, right?
Yeah.
Like thinking of the people that voted for Hitler and the people that didn't stop this from happening.
Well, there was another quote in there too that was basically talking about if there had been more riots or protests, then it wouldn't have gotten as far as it did.
And spoken up or something about not.
I mean, that's such an interesting perspective too, because there's a lot of riots that are happening, and we see, revolutions happening throughout the past few, like from the 60s on, and it's so crazy that just to think that, people actually standing up for their rights, it actually does make a difference.
Yeah. In this case, it could have saved millions
of lives. Yeah.
It's so crazy. So I liked seeing that picture.
Some of the images were disturbing, so we won't get into those.
I had to.
But they were kind of sad. You did? Yeah, you had to sit down and for a minute.
There was a lot of literature that was burned and banned in Germany.
Yeah, they had pictures of that too. They had a big bonfire.
Just tons of history, just absolutely destroyed and will never be seen again.
Mm-hmm.
Some Anne Frank stuff, which growing up, I was always like intrigued by Anne Frank too. And I think for me, it was like the adolescence part, like growing up and then hearing about this, young girl and like her experience being hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a Life magazine cover.
Yeah, both of those, the Life and Einstein one, were looped together.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the chronological thing. It was like the liberation and then the things they found after the fact. So like Anne Frank's diary was one of the things like discovered later.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. So you could like recall stories and everything. This one's kind of crazy too. Canister that contained Zyklon B, a killing agent used in the gas chamber.
Oh yeah, it actually has a picture canister of the can.
No, it is the
can
in a box.
Ah, man.
Here's another one. Jews being transported to camps.
Yeah.
In basically boxes.
The thing that got me the most is that they were tricked. They literally had a band playing outside with happy music.
Yeah, they
told them that they were going to get
violinists and bands to make it peaceful, to control.
Yeah, so that, hey, change your clothes, go take a shower, and it's like, just kidding, and then trapped him in the shower.
And the reason was to control chaos. No. Not to be, I don't know, that's just wild.
It's horrible.
And
to be tricked, like, they're just animals.
The bags of hair.
Oh, the bags of hair. Oh, that one. Yeah, that was bizarre. It said, it had a picture of the bags of hair, but it showed, and mind you, these are big, like, cloth bags. Not cloth.
They were like burlap sacks.
Yeah, like large burlap sacks filled with hair. And they said they used those to stuff mattresses.
So they were basically taking body.
Yeah, parts. They shaved. They didn't yank the hair out. I'm surprised they didn't, but they shaved the hair off.
They may have. They were already barbaric enough with the rest of those. Who knows what? There's so many stories we'll never know, too. You know. Mm-hmm.
Well, and Robin, the tour guide, she telling us that they're still finding different camps.
I mean, it makes sense because, that's crazy. They're finding camps. Like, that's hard to imagine. But as far as, like, uncovering documents, like, that's more understandable. Like, you know, with Peepaw's letters, it's like nobody knew those even existed until they were like, oh, my dad found them in the garage or whatever. And they've been sitting there forever. But yeah, like, entire, like, concentration camps. Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. I watched this World War II documentary, too, like, on Netflix, literally called World War II from the Front Lines.
I still haven't watched it. Well, I'm kind of scared. I'm so stopped up with my sinuses. Like, if I cry,
oh my gosh,
I'm not going to be able to breathe for 2 days.
Yeah. But anyway, like, that showed just a lot of the camps and stuff, and just finding that, well, at the end of the series, like, the liberation and stuff, but then, like, what they found at the end is just, like, you know, so mind-blowing that really actually happened.
Yeah. I really think that you'd like we've got to go to DC.
Yeah, that has to be a trip that's planned. But you said when you went, like, it changed your life.
It was very moving. And I was 13 when we went. I was in 8th grade, and our school did a trip during spring break every year. And they took the kids to, I think, DC almost every year. And
that's so cool.
Part of it, yeah, it was actually really neat. And
like, that's a dope like experience as a kid. Like, that really impacts you. Like, you're so impressionable anyway at that age. Mm-hmm. And then to go to one of the most, like, incredible museums.
Oh, and one of the most incredible cities. I mean, everything there is so historic and beautiful and architecturally pleasing as well.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of kids, of course, too, that it's mostly the immature boys. Like, they didn't want to be there.
Well, yeah.
At 13. So they're, like, running around. And anyway, but when we went to the memorial in DC, the shoes.
So, like, the memorial, like,
the Holocaust.
So in the museum, though, is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess maybe I'm saying it wrong.
No, I don't know. I just want to make sure I know what you mean. Okay.
It's the Holocaust Museum
when
in
you're
DC.
In there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And part of it, you walk in, and they have a lot of shoes. And you can see them, you can smell them, you can feel the terror and the energy.
Like, kids' shoes, adult shoes, any kind of shoes?
All of them. They're
like shoes that people were wearing when they got there, or shoes that they gave people to wear?
No, the shoes that they were wearing that they took, that the Nazis took. And it's just, you walk in and you can feel the terror and feel the energy in there. And I have never, ever felt that.
It's unfathomable.
And it's insane. And so you get hit with that as a 13-year-old, and you're like, this is insane. And that is a feeling that I will never forget. That's an experience I will never forget.
Yeah.
And some of that trip, I don't even remember. But that museum it will
always
stay
in your brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So getting to see another museum and, you know, other, like, it was nice to know that we have something a little bit closer.
Well, yeah,
that shows the history.
Yeah, San Antonio, like, this memorial may not be like on the national radar for everybody, but
Maybe it will be soon, hopefully.
I mean, you know what? That little museum was impressive. Like, I feel like if you take the time to read what they've put together, it is very moving. Like,
it is, yeah.
It's not, you don't have all the shoes and the things that you're saying, but
they did have the outfit.
They had
the prisoner, the striped outfit.
Well, and they had an exhibit that we didn't get to see, which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
We kind of just barely missed it, but the rail car. It's a rail car. From what I read, if I've got this right, it's a rail car and it's traveling from city to city. So we just missed it. Now it's in Laredo, but
we're not driving to Laredo.
We ain't going to Laredo this week. Got things to do. But but I think the website, what it say that it was like holographs, like a holographic recording that is actually of people like in these rail cars, and it's survivors' stories like being recited like kind of in a video way or however experience.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just sounded really cool. It
seemed really cool.
The people working there were like, "Oh, you just missed it. It sounded so cool." So I don't know if anyone ever happened to be in a place where they were close to that. It sounds like it'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and she was like, we got there, and Robin, the tour guide, I don't even know if that's her title. She just seems like she's just
educational lady at the museum.
She knows everything.
Yeah,
she was cool.
She was cool, and she cared, and she was nice.
Like, I'm from New York.
Huh. Yeah.
Is that a good accent?
Oh, and she had a cheetah print jacket.
Yeah. Okay, as we're sitting here with our cheetah print bucket hats.
Buzzing.
We're a vibe. We need to start videoing ourselves.
We are a vibe.
Yeah, she walked in and she was like, so who's the one that called from Austin?
Oh, yeah. No,
I was like, well, that's me.
Well, this whole big circular room, that's like the main...
Quiet. Everything's quiet.
It's the main
comes
part.
In her leopard jacket.
Main part of the museum. Yeah. And there's like several other people in there, quietly observing. And Robin walks in. Where's Brittany?
Yeah, what's the one from Austin?
Yeah. It's like, I talked to her on the phone.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Robin's pretty cool. And actually the whole place, it's a cultural center.
Jewish center.
In San Antonio. And then we went and got barbecue afterwards. So that was cool. There was a place like
that was good barbecue.
Close by.
I'm not always one to just go and like ooh and ah over barbecue.
And then, to Mary's delight, there was a giant playground.
Well, we specifically sought out a restaurant with a playground.
After making her sit in a room with a bunch of words on the wall for a long time.
And in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Sit in the car and then sit in a room.
She needed to run.
She did until a kid threw things in her face. What
are
those called? Wood chips. Yeah.
A little
on the playground.
Kid allegedly threw wood chips at Emery.
He threw them in the air. He didn't throw it at her.
Well, we didn't see it happen, but somehow Emery intersected with
a wood chip
and was pretty upset.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Good job.
What?
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
The hard one.
I had to pause there, but I got it.
You got through. So we ate barbecue and then we drove home.
Well, you had to pee.
And Buc-ee's
happened to be the next stop. If you don't know what Buc-ee's is, you should look it up. We can explain it.
It was fate, though. It really was. I was like, I really need to stop. And Brittany said, I'm going to look up where to go. And there
was a Buc-ee's.
The next exit.
It was.
So naturally,
we go. And then I lose you. Well, we go through the things. We're finding the things and the stuff.
We always have to shop.
Okay.
We can't not shop.
And we like the same thing. So it's like, we're going to find the freaking pink cowboy hat.
Well, he is one of us, so she's very intrigued by those things too. So yeah, the pink cowboy, rhinestone hats. We're all wearing these things around Buc-ee's. Like, do we need these?
They're so didn't cute. Need them,
but they're so cute.
They were cute, except the fact that my head is apparently smaller than the average human being.
Your head is 22 inches
in diameter.
We discovered tonight.
Yes.
So you have a 22-inch head.
Meanwhile, your nephew has
a 27-inch head. I have a 12-year-old nephew with a 27-inch head. I don't know.
He's literally 20 years younger than me.
I don't know head
and he has
circumferences that well, but like, dang, that's a lot of inches difference.
She said.
It's 5 inches. Wow. Okay, so let's just put it this way. Okay. One size fits all Buc-ee's does not work for the pink cowboy hats.
One size does not fit all.
Because one size is really big on some of us.
Someone needs to
especially the 22-inch headers.
You know,
would you measure me? I'm like, what, 22 and a half?
No, like in a quarter.
In a quarter, yeah, so not that much difference.
But also, it's kind of, it's not even like fully accurate because you have French braids in your hair.
So it's like slightly thick. Like adds a little girth.
I don't. This is some episode. Holocaust Museum and girth. Interesting combination of flavors we have today.
We know how to make any adventure like entertaining.
Those are fun. Also, I've got to point out, you and Frances putting things on the edge of the table.
Wow.
Look, it's her Stanley cup is
it was about
the
to fall
cup
off.
The cup is literally on the edge of the table every single time I'm in this house.
Well, I think because I'm trying to look at you and I was like sneaking a sip of water and put it back.
I'm glad you just drop it right on
over the couch.
Hey, I cleaned it up.
Okay, so Buc-ee's, what? It's a giant gas station in Texas.
/ boutique store / candy stop.
They sell
it has everything.
You can get a crawfish boiler, or you can get a
brisket sandwich.
What was that? Granite cutting boards.
Oh yeah, it's like
custom cut in the shape of the United States.
Yeah.
Okay. Baby onesies, swimsuits with little beavers all over them.
Everything is overpriced so much.
It is, but it's not. Like at the same time, that one swimsuit top was like $11.99. I'm like, that was actually pretty cheap.
But all the cutting boards are like $80.
Well, that's the boutique part, right? Where everybody else can come in and put their price on it. I don't know. It's quite the range.
That's true. Maybe, yeah. It's like that section we were in was specifically just boutique.
But they have insane beef jerky. Like a lot of beef jerky. Like deli style.
I've got to say, I've never been one for like everyone gets so obsessed over something.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are obsessed with Buc-ee's and I just do not get it. I think
you know what my thing is with Buc-ee's? Is reliable, clean bathrooms.
Well, and that's what everybody says.
That's the main thing.
But then you're in there
and
it's like a casino and you blink and then
you're like, what happened?
4 a.m.
And now they have shopping carts.
Oh my God, they have shopping carts. They do.
Not baskets. They have those too. But they have full shopping carts that you stroll around.
You know what I heard those sizes shopping cart, the smaller one with kind of the 2-tier situation.
Mm-hmm.
I was at an HEB when I still lived in Houston, and the smaller ones, they call those the millennial shopping carts.
No way. Yeah. Those are pretty dope.
Yeah, because it's perfect for people who don't need to buy a bunch of stuff.
No, it is perfect. Yeah.
It's not a massive shopping cart taking up the whole aisle.
And you can't get anywhere because you're stuck because you have this giant cart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of good for Buc-ee's though, too, because there are a lot of people that go there.
It's busy. It's like you go into the bathroom and you come out and it's like you're trying to cross a 10-lane highway.
It is. And there's like 20 gas pumps, but
yeah,
no big trucks. They don't do like 18-wheelers or anything. It's like no trucks. So
that's true.
A giant rest stop for cars, not for trucks. Because I don't know. So many of the other ones are so focused on, big trucks.
Yeah.
Truck drivers, whatever. But we came out pretty good, actually. I only spent $26 in there. And,
that's surprising because
pretty good
with a 4-year-old.
Yeah, normally it's like $100 at Buc-ee's.
Except she did choose. We each got a sign.
A little tiny wooden sign.
We each got cute signs that we were obsessed with that we can't remember what they say.
No, I think I remember buying, I hope, something like, I hope my morning coffee is as strong as my daughter's attitude.
Oh, yeah. I picked that one out for you.
Very relevant.
Very relevant. Because you have 2 daughters.
Uh-huh.
So you have all the attitudes sandwiched together.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the signs were cool. And we had picked out some sign about, like, wine or something. I was like, no. So then I was like, oh, this one's cute. Like,
something about friends.
Yeah, something about friends. And then another one that was like, I don't know, a couple other cute little ones. And anyway, she picked one. She was like, yeah, sure. And then we find the crawfish section.
Oh,
towels, like knives, cutting boards.
Making my mouth water. I want crawfish so bad.
Plates, cups, all the crawfish.
All of the plates were really cute.
They were, and we love crawfish.
And oven mitts.
Yeah, that was a tough one to pass by. But Emily walked away with her very own crawfish butter knife.
It's a butter, yeah.
Or cheese knife, whatever. And she freaking loves that thing.
She is obsessed.
She really wanted like a Buc-ee's wine cup, which again, I was like, whatever, you can get one thing.
A cup, yeah.
But no, she wanted the crawfish knife. I was like, sure, fine. So we walked away with our little sign, the crawfish
over a cup
knife.
And over a sign that she picked out. She overruled all of that for a crawfish knife.
Yep. And she also got some cookies and some grapes. And I got some pecans. So that was our loot.
Yeah. I got Rice Krispie treats. Or a Rice Krispie treat. Actually, it's not a Rice Krispie because it's not branded, but it's a crispy rice treat.
It's a crispy rice treat. And your sign, your wine sign.
Oh, my wine sign. Yes.
And some ibuprofen.
Yeah.
It's been a good day.
It has been a good day.
A good day of experienship.
Experienship.
You know what? It has.
Yeah, experience
hard today.
Of the friendship.
Uh-huh. Us.
It us.
Okay, so we stopped to get you ibuprofen. Well, no, you got ibuprofen at the stop. We stopped to get you ibuprofen.
Stopped. Miss, I have to pee.
We have to stop to get her ibuprofen.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, okay, so we're headed back. And I'm just going to say,
home. Like halfway home, right?
From my perspective, this was after Buc-ee's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from my perspective, Danlee and I see this big piece of kind of rubber plastic from a vehicle or, it's
I'm driving.
It's chunky. Yeah, she's driving.
Chunk of something is there.
It's chunk. And I'm glad you swerved because it could have gone right through the windshield.
Well, the first thing I saw was the car in front of me swerve. And I was like, stupid drivers. What are they doing? And then I was like, I was like, oh, I'm no.
There's something there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're like, uh-oh. And then your child from the back seat is like, that was a bird. I was like, well, no, that was a piece of plastic that like is on the road.
And I was like, I thought it was metal. And you were like, no, definitely not metal.
No, because the way it was bouncing, it was definitely not metal.
Yeah.
And but I don't even know like if it was a piece of a car. Anyway,
it was like a foot or two long.
It was chunky,
like flying through the road. Yeah,
it was clearly a safety hazard on I-35, and what isn't? I mean,
sure,
yeah. So we get into this
debate.
Well, okay, then you saw a bird, but what we saw was blah blah blah. So she ends up, the child is still debating me. Assume like this is a bird. She saw a bird.
You saw a bird. That was
you saw a bird. We did not see the bird, and she just kept going, and I was like,
"No, this was a rubber piece in the road. No, it was a bird. No,
it was a vicious cycle." And I was like, "You're wrong."
Brittany says, "Okay,"
and she kept talking. You're wrong,
but okay.
Yeah,
and
it kept going.
Well, it got quiet for a second, and then Embry's like, "Well, it was a bird, so you're wrong."
Yeah, and then that's where I blacked out, and I almost fought your child in the car.
Brittany was like, "I'm not wrong." I was like, "Well."
Oh my gosh. I was like, we saw different things.
Okay, so then we're like, I'm just like, I gotta change the subject. So I'm like,
you're pointing out,
look, there's a Ford dealership. Look, there's cars.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like where? I'm like, right there. And okay, we're not all spotting the same thing. So what was the next thing? I was like, oh, there's the river.
You were
like, we're going over a river.
We're going over the river. And then it was like, well, none of us saw the river.
Everyone's like, well, there was a sign, but you can't.
And then everybody was like,
but well, you guys saw it.
And we're like, no, we didn't see it either. We just saw the sign.
So finally,
I'm like, there's a horse. Look at the horse on your right.
And we all locked eyes with the horse.
Finally saw the horse
at the same time. And it was like,
and you're like, thank goodness. And I'm like, you're wrong. Anyway, so I almost got in a fight with a 4-year-old
about
because she was sassy back to me.
Kids can be rats, and it's hard.
I mean, I don't know how you do it. I don't, because I'd have pulled over and been like, get out of my car. Just kidding, I wouldn't have done that.
But you might have thought about it.
But I would have thought real hard about it.
So the rest of the trip, we spent weaving in and out of traffic because despite our efforts, we still ended up in a lot of traffic.
Well, we finally get going, and then your child's like,
oh, she had to pee again.
I had to pee.
Yeah, again.
You were like, are you sure? Like, can you hold it?
I was like, 20 miles. We have 20 more miles. No.
So you exit, and we're like, right here. Like, turn right really hard into a gas station.
Yeah, just slam on the brakes.
Luckily, it was new.
It was a good bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Something in that bathroom.
Oh.
So.
Oh, yeah, because I was in the car.
We were in this stall. And there's like a cubby hole, like kind of like on the ground that goes to the next stall.
It's in case like flooding or something happens.
I guess, but like, yeah, it goes from the floor, like it's like a whole wall, floor to ceiling in between each stall. But there's like a little cutout, but it had a drain in it too. But anyway, it literally looked like a little cat door or something. And Emery's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's like a drain. Like there's a drain. And she's like, but what is that? I was like, it's a drain. She's like, but what's the hole? And I was like,
oh gosh,
water goes down it. And she's like, but why? And I'm like,
it's a bird.
Yeah, I know. It was this whole thing. And I was just like, and then she's like, well, not that hole. I was like, what hole? And she meant the cut out. Like, I was like, well, there's a drain there. And she's what like, hole? But there's another hole. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's for all the little dogs that people bring in here so they can like hop around into each stall. And she was like, yeah. She was like, what? She was like, why would they do that? I was like, I'm just kidding.
So you get to mess with her.
I play along, yeah.
God, what did I say?
One of the other things after, like, we dropped you off, she was like, and I was like, okay. And she was like, you got that? And I was like, yeah.
Oh, because you were talking about the languages.
Yeah, and she was, I mean, after we dropped you off, she was like, blah, 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 like going on and on about nothing, like gibberish.
Oh.
And she's like, well, what'd I say? And I was like, I don't know. You said, Taylor Swift, this and that. And she's like, well, that's not what I said. Like, it was just, she was grilling me. And I'm like, do you want me to play along or not? Like, I don't get
because
this.
Aunt Brittany was out of the car. I was not, well, she kept putting her feet on the back of your seat and all these things. And I'm looking at her and you're like, girl, please take your feet off my seat. I don't like that. And she's like, okay, and slides her shoe down. So it's still on your seat, just not as high. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, do you not know I can see your feet?
I'm like, girl, you ain't going to go to the dollar store this week. No. That's what she's working towards. She's good all week. She gets to go to the dollar store. What a
childhood. You get so excited you get to go to the dollar store.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. It's because it's like not like, hey, let's go to Build-A-Bear and buy $100 teddy bear.
Well, I've made mistakes. I mean, we've had bigger prizes.
Well, I have been stuck in a Build-A-Bear with your card before because she had a meltdown.
Yeah, or the one time she, like not that long ago, she was like, I just want to tie-dye something. And I was like, okay, if you're good all week, we tie-dye something. Well, by the end of the week, I've got a whole Amazon cart full of shirts and socks and all the things I want to tie-dye. And
you didn't have anything just in your closet?
I spent like $100 on tie-dye stuff because Emery had good behavior.
That's not exactly dollar store.
Yeah. No, okay. I know. Like, we have to get back to dollar store level prizes here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Build-A-Bear, that was a thing.
Oh my goodness.
Memories.
To be a child. Sassy child.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, my kids got the sass.
Yeah, that's why that sign is perfect for you. The coffee is as strong as my daughter's attitude.
For my new office.
Your new office, which we will get to
on
another episode.
Next episode.
Something down the road. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so we had an awesome day with all the emotions. We laughed and literally cried and got a little bit mad and all the things in between.
And did not pee our pants.
But there were some close calls.
Yeah, there was, yes.
The first thing we did when we stormed into that museum was find the first bathroom.
Yeah, we were all like, okay, it's a museum. It's got to have a bathroom. We're like, yes, okay.
And some planning because I had to figure out my schedule for next week for when I actually have a doctor's appointment.
Oh my God.
Because it was not this week. It is next week. But that's cool because we got to do other things.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, folks.
Until next time. And this is the first Experienship memory lane, recording and everything.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Bitches.